Hey, how are you? This is a video for the major project for the manufacturing engineering, which is mainly going to be about the gear pumps. So at the beginning, I'm going to give you a hint about the two different types of models of the Power Auto gear pumps that we are having in the UTS labs. So the first one is the PUK 85R, the gray cast iron one, and we have the aluminium one, which is PUK I think 24S. So the difference between both, as you can see here, is going to be mainly about the size and the metal. Other differences, we're going to go through them in the video we're going to make, series of the video we're going to make today. So first we need to understand what is the principle of the gear pump working. And the gear pump in general, we call them gear pump because the propeller is going to be exchanged by the movement of the two gears, and they're going to move the liquid within the pump, generate a suction port, which is going to have a negative pressure, and the exit port, which is going to have the positive pressure. So once again, just remember that every pump we have mainly going to have a pressure differentiation, unless if you're going to have the pump that actually using the pockets to move the fluid. But in general, the movement of the fluid without having any pressure is going to be considered as a material handling equipment rather than to be a pump. Pump must have pressure low at the inlet, pressure high at the outlet. So let's have a look about the pumps in general. For every gear pump we are going to have in our life, we will see that we are going to have two inlets. One of them is going to have a large port, and the other one is going to have the small port. Some of the pumps have the inlet and the outlet on the sides, but this model, which made by the PUK, Power Auto, they have them at the back. So we can see that we have a large diameter port and a small diameter port. Large diameter port is going to be the inlet. The small diameter port is going to be the outlet. The main reason for that, that's something you're going to learn later in your degree. We call them the throttling operation. So if you're going to have a small diameter, you push the pressure through, the fluid through, you're going to have higher pressure, and plus you're going to achieve higher speed. Now let me explain this one to you again in a simple word. Now, large diameter, if I get to have a flow rate of, let's say, 0.1 cubic meter per minute through the small, large inlet area, and then the same flow rate is going to pass through the small port. The same flow rate, which is in cubic meter per minute, okay, through this area. If you are going to divide it by the large area, we're going to have the speed in meter per minute. If I'm going to reduce the denominator, okay, while the flow is going to remain the same, the value at the top, so the velocity will be increasing, and that's what we want from the pumps. Take a look to the front. We can see that we have the arrangement of the two gears. And if I'm going to go back, just to give it to you briefly, this inlet will be here. The outlet will be on the other side. The pump movement is going to be like that. The shaft will moving, what you can see actually is clockwise direction. Is going to take the liquid from the inlet port here and pass it through the pump between the gears, teeth, and the walls, and then the two streams will meeting at that point. On this side, we're going to have the two meeting streams. They have no other escape to go but to leave through the outlet port. So we're going to have the higher pressure in this side, and this will push the fluid with the required velocity and pressure through the outlet. That's how the pumps work. Okay, so this is a gear pump. Mainly it's used to pump hydraulic. We don't use it for the water or even for example, the kerosene, because this actually going to damage the components, because we need to have a continuous lubrication for the pumps. Remember that this pumps is working at the velocity at the RPM value of 1000 RPM and above. So if we don't have enough lubricant, all the parts will be damaged. And now, in the next video, we're going to talk about the two different different types of the pumps and the material we're selecting for every components we have for the pump.